99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating is not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest, right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're gonna kick yourself in the balls? So you're gonna stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind. I believe that self-discipline is the definition of self-love. That when you say that you love yourself, that means that you have behavior towards yourself that is loving. And I think the word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm not talking about discipline in that way. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure for the exchange of long-term self-respect. Self-discipline is self-love. If you want to be happy, you have to love yourself, which means you have to discipline your behavior. The road to sustained happiness is through disciplining your behavior.
Before you can be a painter who can paint what's beyond mere memory, you have to inculcate that discipline skill, and a lot of that is painful repetition and hard grinding work. It's the sacrifice of the present for the future. But once you manage that, then things open up. And while you're learning those rules, the probability that you have any creative freedom to speak of or any facility with the rules is very low. You're a rank beginner, and there are places to encourage people to develop the discipline that's necessary to see beyond the discipline. I mean, that's why we have disciplines, right? I mean, the words aren't there by accident. You have to narrow yourself first, and then you can broaden outward. And so that's part of the process of maturation. That's part of the sacrifice of childhood. When you're a teenager and a young adult, you have to sacrifice everything you could have been as a child to be the one thing that you're aiming at. But then that opens up, and the universities are part and parcel of that process. And you need the guidance because the library is too large to wander through it unaided.
Life's about self-discipline. It is about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is it builds no mental toughness, it builds no mental hardening, it builds nothing. When you working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. You may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. This is the foundation of life.
How do you cure yourself from a lack of discipline? Well, the answer is simple and it's straightforward. Care more than normal and more than necessary about your results. That's it. Learn to care. Start developing inside of you this adamant feeling, this desire to care more than normal and more than necessary about the results that you want. You see, most people don't cross the finish line with their goals and their dreams, not because they don't have the ability or the resources or the relationships. More often than not, it's because at some point they allow themselves not to care more than normal and more than necessary. Discipline is nothing more than demonstrating your decision on a daily basis.
Unless you are some exception, being born in the age that you have been born, if you're under 30, yea, even under 40, you probably lack discipline. Because you have never been able to work. You have never had need to work for your food, and your fathers never made you work so hard that your bones cried. Discipline yourself in your speech. Discipline yourself in the company you keep. Discipline yourself in when you go to bed and when you rise up. This is a war. Discipline yourself. This is hard, and it will cost you everything. And by the time you're an old man, you will be broken, but strong in the things of God.
If you look at anyone who has achieved anything, any level of success in life, one thing that they had in common is that they had self-discipline, at least around the results that they were going for. They were disciplined to do the things that were necessary to make that happen. So if you want self-improvement, you have to start to get more self-discipline. When we're talking about self-discipline, that starts with self-love, is to begin scheduling your entire day. That means entire day. From the moment you wake up to when you're sleeping at night, have it scheduled out. Because if you have a schedule, you're more apt to do the things that are on that schedule. Look at yourself as a disciplined person. Avoid declaring that you're a procrastinator to yourself or anyone else, because that is only going to reinforce that behavior. Do it now, whether you feel like it or not, because after all, what is self-discipline? It's doing the things that are right, whether you feel like it or not. Doing those right things that will produce you the results again, or at least get you closer to those results that you're looking for.
If you don't have something to strive towards, if you don't have an ideal to reach for, then there really is no reason to get up in the morning, right? I mean, most people go through their lives just to get to the next day, right? And if that's the case, then you're not gonna have very much motivation. You want to create a situation where there is something so extraordinary that you want to achieve in your life on the far end of things, the big picture, that you can't stay in bed. I'm excited to get my ass out of bed every single day. I get up and I can't wait to get things going. And it has to do with the fact that I've got a big vision. I've got a big picture. Create an extraordinary vision for yourself, right? Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot achieve. Create something huge, no matter how ridiculous it is, because it's going to get you up every single day. And when you get up, you're now going to start practicing the strengthening of your willpower. Just build the willpower. Build the character associated with doing one freaking thing, and get your ass out of bed no matter what it takes. Even if you're sick and you got snots dripping down your chin, get your ass up, but make that a habit every single day. Begin with that. Why are you getting up? And then build the willpower associated with getting up every single day. Everything else don't matter. I don't care what else you do with the rest of your day, because it's not gonna matter. What you do is not nearly as important as who you're becoming through that practice of getting your ass up. Once you build that discipline, I guarantee you, you'll take it into other areas.